You are probably making a silent chemical mistake in your own kitchen right now. It starts with that simple $1 brown bottle of hydrogen peroxide sitting in your cabinet. Maybe you saw a viral video online promising a magical, all-natural cleaning hack. The advice seems so simple. Just mix hydrogen peroxide with regular white vinegar, watch it bubble, and wipe away the grime. It looks like the ultimate green alternative to expensive store-bought cleaners. But that satisfying fizz is not a sign of deep cleaning. It is actually a warning. When you combine hydrogen peroxide with the acetic acid in vinegar, they do not just work together. They chemically react to create an entirely new substance called peracetic acid. This is not a gentle, eco-friendly solution. Health agencies warn that peracetic acid is a highly corrosive compound. It can easily irritate your eyes, cause chemical burns on your skin, and release vapors that may harm your lungs. By trying to protect your family from commercial chemicals, you might actually be creating a hazardous gas right in your home. So why does this happen? And what is this double-edged sword actually doing to the air you breathe? When you pour hydrogen peroxide and vinegar into the same bottle, they do not just sit there. They instantly trade atoms. The hydrogen peroxide hands over an oxygen atom to the acetic acid in the vinegar. This quick swap creates a brand new chemical. It is called peracetic acid, known scientifically as CH3CO3H. In heavy industrial plants, this compound is used as a powerful sterilizer for medical equipment. But in those factories, workers must wear thick protective gear and use advanced ventilation systems. At home, you probably just pour it into a standard plastic spray bottle. And that is where the real trouble begins. When you squeeze that trigger, a physical phenomenon called the aerosol effect takes over. The nozzle violently breaks that corrosive liquid into a fine, microscopic mist. It floats effortlessly in the air, hanging right in front of your face. As you inhale, those tiny droplets bypass your body's natural filters and travel straight into your lungs. Suddenly, your eyes start to sting and water. You might get a sudden dry cough or feel a tight, suffocating sensation in your chest. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, warns that this mist can trigger severe respiratory irritation. You might have blamed your coughing fits in the past on the dust you were wiping away, but researchers suspect it was actually the toxic mist you just created in your kitchen. Yet the physical danger to your lungs is only half the story. There is a bizarre chemical twist to this homemade mixture. By trying to create a super cleaner, you may have actually made both ingredients completely useless. Think about that little brown bottle again. There is a very specific reason it is made of dark, opaque plastic. Hydrogen peroxide is a highly sensitive, chemically unstable molecule. When light hits it, it begins to break down almost instantly. Now, imagine pouring it into a clear plastic spray bottle. You add the vinegar, you think you are brewing a master cleaner. In reality, you have triggered a chemical suicide pact. Without professional industrial-grade stabilizers, your homemade peracetic acid decays at a rapid rate. Within just a few hours, the active ingredients simply vanish. The hydrogen peroxide sheds its extra oxygen. It degrades into plain water and a tiny amount of weak, useless vinegar. You are literally spraying expensive water on your countertops. But the waste of your hard-earned money is not even the worst part. As that hydrogen peroxide breaks down inside your sealed spray bottle, it releases oxygen gas. With nowhere to go, that gas starts to build up pressure. The plastic walls of the bottle expand. Some home cleaners have reported their bottles slowly swelling, cracking, or even bursting open in their cabinets. You are essentially storing a weak, unpredictable pressure bomb under your kitchen sink, all to create a liquid that loses its sanitizing power in a matter of days. It is a classic self-inflicted financial trap. You bought two great ingredients, only to let them destroy each other. But what if I told you there is a method proven by leading food scientists that combines the power of both substances? A way to achieve 10 times the sanitizing power without creating a single microgram of toxic gas. The secret lies in a brilliant loophole discovered in a university laboratory. Instead of mixing them in a bottle, you let them work in shifts. Scientists call this sequential spraying. In the 1990s, a groundbreaking study led by Dr. Susan Sumner at Virginia Tech revealed something extraordinary. She found that using these two liquids one after the other is incredibly powerful. In fact, some tests suggested it was far more effective at killing deadly bacteria than mixing them together. When you spray them separately, they do not create a toxic cloud in your kitchen. Instead, the chemical reaction happens right on the surface you are cleaning. They meet directly on the cell walls of nasty pathogens like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. At that microscopic level, they join forces for a fraction of a second. They tear through the outer defense of the bacteria, neutralizing it almost instantly. And once the job is done, the mixture quickly breaks down into harmless water and oxygen. It is incredibly safe, highly effective, and costs pennies. You get the sanitizing power of a commercial-grade disinfectant without any of the dangerous fumes. It is the ultimate way to rescue a contaminated wooden cutting board. But you cannot just spray them randomly. There is a precise step-by-step sequence you must follow to get these results. So what is the exact routine for this $1 method? And what are the critical rules you need to know to avoid damaging your expensive countertops? To set up this system, you only need 2 simple bottles. The first bottle is filled with plain, undiluted white vinegar. For the second bottle, you will want to use that standard 3% hydrogen peroxide. But here is a brilliant insider trick. Do not pour the peroxide into a clear plastic spray bottle. Instead, take a standard spray nozzle and screw it directly onto the original brown medicine bottle. This simple hack keeps the liquid completely in the dark. It protects the fragile molecules from light, keeping the solution incredibly strong for months. Now, here is the exact 3-step routine. First, grab your vinegar bottle and spray the dirty surface thoroughly. Let it sit there for about 5 minutes. This gives the natural acid enough time to cut through grease and weaken the defenses of any harmful bacteria. Second, wipe the surface completely dry with a clean cloth. Third, grab your brown bottle and spray the hydrogen peroxide directly over the same area. Let it fizz and bubble for a moment, then wipe it clean. By keeping these two liquids separate until they meet on the surface, you get maximum sanitizing power. It is incredibly effective, and it costs less than $1. But before you start spraying your entire kitchen, you must check your surfaces. This cheap method is fantastic for wooden cutting boards, plastic prep areas, and stainless steel sinks. However, it can be an absolute disaster for expensive natural stone. You should never use this routine on marble or granite. The natural acid in the vinegar can quickly eat away at these delicate surfaces. It may cause permanent cloudy stains, etch the stone, and completely ruin that beautiful shiny finish. For a high-end kitchen, one simple mistake could cost you thousands of dollars in restoration fees. But even if you only use this on safe surfaces, there is still one major catch. Before you throw away every other cleaning chemical in your house, you need to know about a hidden danger. It is a final safety rule about hydrogen peroxide that almost 99% of people still get wrong. You do not need to spend a fortune on fancy bottles to keep your home truly safe. Real cleaning power is about understanding the simple science, not buying expensive chemicals. Here is your quick $1 cheat sheet to screenshot right now. First, spray the undiluted white vinegar and let it sit for 5 minutes. Wipe the surface completely dry. Then follow up with the 3% hydrogen peroxide to finish the job. Please remember, this guide is based on experimental scientific studies. Always clean in a well-ventilated space, and be sure to read all safety guidelines carefully before trying this at home. But these kitchen sprays are not the only place where companies are draining your wallet. Have you ever wondered about those expensive organic laundry detergents? It turns out you might just be paying a massive premium for 95% water. Click right here to discover the truth behind the organic laundry scam. Your wallet will thank you.